a few seconds. Once the pops up, I'm gonna go ahead and get that going. About 20 seconds it takes. Alrighty, hello everyone, Bubble Ninja 720 here, bringing you part 73 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy 14. Now, we should be at about roughly 5 missions before it hits Stormblood, but first off, before we go ahead and do that, complimentary blue screen already starting. Yay! I don't have any papers. Can't do any training courses because I'm out, so everyone's like all panty and stuff. Our squadron has been improving by leaps and bounds, but I think it's time for the recruits to try their hands at a more challenging deployment. It's the only way they'll learn to push past their limits. One or more squadron members have reached level 20, unlocking a special promotion mission. Successfully completing this mission will increase your squadron's rank. Due to the high difficulty level of the promotion mission, however, it is advised that you first improve your squadron members' individual attributes as much as possible before attempting a deployment. So it is this flagged mission right here, Void Sent Annihilation. So I need to pull someone out. Who will I pull out? So, I need the attack mostly. It would probably be Sawfine, isn't it? And then put Cone Breeder. Yep, that's how it would work. Unless... nope, that's not enough. Alrighty. So we're gonna deploy them. And you get a book where I could change someone into a gladiator or a marauder. We're gonna go ahead and send them. Yay, Void Sent Annihilation. And I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna port on over to Foundation right fast. And we're gonna go quickly into the diadem. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I spent quite a bit of coin yesterday and this morning lining people's pockets so that I could buy materials that I cannot procure myself right now because they're in Stormblood. And I needed them so I could make this stuff. I am now at least 65 for the most part, minus the accessories. So I'm rocking it hard on the Gatherer. Of course, that's the only one, as you can see, that's at high enough level to actually utilize any of it. But it works out. Go to the broom. So there is a cutscene to be had, and I like to show off the cutscenes as much as possible. Enter the firmament. Got a missed phone call. It's probably spam. So I can keep it. Anyone else getting tired of spam calls? I know I am. I need to check something right fast. Ah, these are all completed as well, so we go ahead and swap these out. All set. So when you want to go ahead and go into the diadem, all you gotta do is go over here, mission commander, Has anyone spoken to you of the materials we require for the current reconstruction phase? While most are commonplace and can readily be had, some are unique to the project's needs, and I need hardly mention the resources found in the diadem. Rather than name each and every one of them here, I shall write a list in your log that you may peruse at your leisure. Information on the items required may be viewed under Ishgard Restoration in the Gathering log. I took the liberty of verifying your skills, and by all accounts, you are an accomplished gatherer. It shall be my pleasure to show you to the diadem. Yay. You may now travel to the diadem on procurement missions. You must be a minor botanist or fisher of level 10 or above in order to participate in the duty. You may travel to the diadem in parties of up to 8 players or solo. You are also free to form parties in the course of the duty. Please note that some fishing holes require you to first learn certain traits by completing class quests. Ah, hero, ever a sight for sore eyes. Will you be traveling to the diadem this day? Yes. Send me. Ah, it's currently snowing in the diadem. Look at all the people going off. So basically, I'm going to run around in here for a little bit until I get to my first limit break gauge fill, and then we will go from there. And you can fly, of course, in here. But it's usually easier. You see the little tornadoes? Just run up to it. Boink. Because this area is different tiers. Ooh. I hope I'm still on air. Am I still on air? Okay. There we go. 0 to Jesus. 1%, 0%. Well, first off, I should probably check and see what I need. No. Oh, they don't have it yet. Well, I guess we'll collect a bunch of stuff then. Whoa, that's a lot of XP. This will be a very short stint. Gives you quite a bit of XP. I like that. I was already 90 by the time I got into the diadem, so in my gathering and crafting escapades. fill up the ether gauge so I can blast someone. I could also use this area to farm crystals, clusters, and shards. Which is what I will plan on, which is what I will probably end up doing. Basically, once I get compressed ether, I just gotta go and try and find a nice little sprite to blast. Oh, scared the shit out of me. Oh, there's a corrupted spray right there. And then so you just use your cannon and whoop, bam! Look at all those. Waste. So when you've either timed out or had your fill, you just go ahead and either you get kicked out automatically or you abandon the duty. You go from there. So then after that, go over here to Resource Inspector. If you have materials from the item requiring inspection, my lord, I should be pleased to assist you. Request inspection. And I got 16 Skybuilder scripts. And then all these red ones, they've been stamped for approval. So that means you can either use them or sell them or trade them. These are untradeable because they're not checked yet. And you have to do them, I believe, in loads of 5. And then I need to figure out... My thanks for taking the time to seek out my lord. Overseer for a day. Yeah, that's not something I have to do. Alright. Maybe I have to be something like a carpenter? Yes, I see that you're amply experienced in your craft. If you'll kindly lend me your log, I'll write down a list of the items we need for your reference. Of course, our needs can change over time. If you wish to know what's currently in demand, don't hesitate to ask me. Items requested by Podkin can be crafted by accessing the crafting log and selecting the recipe under Ishgard Restoration. There are expert recipes for high-level Ishgardian Restoration crafting items. For more details, please refer to your crafting log and the associated active help entry. So basically, you're going to go into here, and it's Restoration side quests. So right now, I'm up in this area of the stuff. I'll be building these grade 4 sky builders. Alrighty, and I think it works for all of them, I hope. No. Alright, cool. I did do that for all of them. Okie dokie. So, I think that's everything I needed to do, so that way I can do this on my own, off time. Yay. Let's get ready, get back to the story. Yeah. That's what we gonna be doing. Well, actually, that's what I'll be doing. Keeping it busy. As it, wow. And hopefully, next time I get on... Oh yeah, by the way, the event's ongoing, but right now, I want to get storyline going. Next time I get on, we can do the event. Or after I get done with the credits, maybe I'll push and do that event. I don't know yet. We'll see. I haven't even done it on my main yet. I'm not really enthusiastic about this event because they're basically smashing Little Ladies Day and Hatching Tide together into one event, and the only thing they're gonna give you, from what I saw, is the pink Goobu mount. And I'm like, I think I'm all right now. I can wait. So we got super close to hitting 65 before getting into Stormblood, but it don't matter. I'll more than likely be 70 by the... Well, actually, I will be 70 by the end of it anyways. I think it eventually catches up to me, my level with the story. I'm doing my best not to gain extra XP as my warrior while I'm running around. Alrighty. Why? Why didn't they let me stay? Papalymo is my friend. I should have been there with him. Could see it in his eyes, Ida. He knew what he was doing, what had to be done. Master Louisoix wore that same look right before the end. Do you think I don't know that? I know all right. I know. There's nothing more you could have done. Ilberd caught us all off guard. Even Hero was powerless to stop him. If you must blame someone, then blame me. Just promise that you will never forget that what Papalymo strove to protect, or the lessons he tried to teach you. Don't. Don't speak to me. Leave Ida with me. Go on. Go back to the Rising Stones. The others need to know what happened here. Yeah, everyone needs to know that Papalymo's no more. Another brick in the wall, huh? Louisoix's finest student. Once again, I find myself at a loss for words. But Thancred's right. We must return to the Rising Stones and apprise our companions of all of this. Pray make your way there at once. I will send word to Y'shtola and the others of our imminent return. I wonder, do they have it over there? Can you see it? Yep. Wow. I like that. What does Hilda have to say? Every Ishgardian gets taught that the Sea of Clouds churns in the grip of the warring elements of water and wind. Enough to tear you apart, they say. No one's ever gone to the bottom of the abyss and lived to tell the tale. So how did that bastard manage to get his hands on Nidhogg's eyes? Leave her be. Nothing you can say will console her now. It's over, Papalymo. It's all over. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We must gather our companions. I understand only too well the desire to reclaim one's homeland, but I cannot condone such slaughter. It has been explained to me that the light, what that light signifies, and I have ordered our forces to stand ready. It seems we could do little else but wait. More bad news. It would seem you bring ill tidings, brother. Aye. Behind the griffin's mask we found the grinning face of an old adversary, Ilberd. I know not how, but he had in his possession the eyes of Nidhogg, whose dread power he used to initiate a summoning ritual even as we looked on. By the 12. I don't understand. To attempt such a magic requires every ounce of one's aether. No one, not even grandfather, could cast it and hope to survive. Indeed, it was ever a last resort, as I am certain Papalymo was aware. Thus did the pupil follow in the footsteps of his master, even unto the grave. I have as yet been unable to explain how Ilberd came to possess Nidhogg's eyes. In the depths of the sea of clouds, a perpetual storm of water and wind-aspected aether rages. No mortal could endure such conditions. Then mayhap it was the work of an Ashian. But now is not the time for idle speculation. Kryl, I have need of your assistance. Yes, of course. We must inspect the cocoon of light and ascertain the state of the primal trapped within. Between our respective talents, I dare say we shall glean some measure of insight. Understood. I can't promise I'll be able to sense much through the barrier, but I shall certainly do my best. As shall I. Let us be about it then. What? Without so much as a by your leave? Pray forgive Archon Yustola her brevity. She seeketh employment, lest her grief deprive her of her will to act. A desire to comfort Ida doubtless compoundeth her unseemly haste. I too must contend with this grievous loss in mine own way. By thy leave, Lady Alisaie, I shall honor our fallen colleague through gainful study. There exist writings which may yet further our understanding of this cocoon of light. Mayhap I was too quick to judge. Surrendering to sadness and regret would be a poor tribute to Papalymo's sacrifice. Quite. We must begin preparations to face Ilberd's accursed creation without delay. What time we have was purchased at too dear a price for us to squander it. And yes, Papalymo is dead. He basically sacked himself in order to bind what Ilberd was becoming. School's out forever. What did I get for that one? There has to be a title on that one. The finest pupil's ally. The obvious solution. Hero, I wish I had more to tell you, but the situation in the East Shroud remains largely unchanged. Meaning we still have no idea how long it will be before... Nope. A communication from the Alliance, one moment. I think we figured out how long it's going to be. Yes, of course. Our representatives will be present. My thanks. Word from Gridania. The council will shortly be reconvened. The Alliance leaders have already begun to assemble. They wish to discuss the primal, of course. As of Yustola's last report, the cocoon yet hung above the wall unchanged. Yes, but the Elder Seedseer doubtless shares our concerns about how long it will remain so. I am told that Sid Garlon has been called in to add his expertise to proceedings. A wise decision. The more minds we have working on this, the better. Well then, I suggest we leave the Rising Stones in Tataru's capable hands and make haste for the Lotus Stand. We're counting on the final few quests.
A word, if you would, good sir. This place, it is within the realm of Eorzea.
You're an odd-looking fellow, aren't you? Still, takes all sorts, I suppose. This here's Vesper Bay. Thanalan's door to the ocean, as some folk like to call it.
Am I to understand from your answer that I have indeed arrived in Eorzea?
Eh? Yes? You're in Eorzea?
Ah! A plain response at last, and the one I wanted at that. My journey was not without its hardships, and I would sooner travel by land than put to sea again. You do not believe that so small a bark could bear me across the ocean? Such timid little sailors. I had but to set my course and set my jaw till I made port.
And he's hungry.
Though, 'twould perhaps have been wise to lay down my oars a moment to sup on more than the spray of brine water. By the trembling of my limbs, I sense a brief repast may be in order. Nay, I will not hearken to the feeble grumblings of an empty belly. Duty comes before all.
Where does Hat go?
Good God, man. Are you all right?
Full on collapsed. Oh, and there's Orion J.
Thou art far indeed from home, friend.
It's another one of my favorite characters right there. Alright, so conjure at Nafika's altar. No, if I still have a few seconds left. Blarg. I'll go talk with this too, because I think this unlocks something, because it is a blue plus. You always want to get to your blue pluses. Go west, craftsman. Mayhap you have heard of that Rowena's House of Splendors is expanding its operations. I am proud to say that these rumors are true. We have established a presence in Idleshire, far to the west in the Gervanian hinterlands. Should you find yourself passing through, it may be prudent to introduce yourself to our representatives. Present this letter to them, and they will know you for one of our suppliers. Sweet. So yeah, I came over here and I bought all of the recipes from this guy. It didn't take me very long. We're gonna go to Idleshire right fast, and I'm gonna go ahead and turn this little shindig in, and then I'll recall back. Alrighty. Slowly unlocking everything. Begging your pardon, sir, but I haven't got the time to chat right now. One of my little sister's suppliers, eh? Well, no, that's different. Pleased to make your acquaintance. As you can see, the house has come to Idleshire, but we've only just gotten started. It is our hope that with the help of hard-working folks such as yourself, it won't be long before we're the center of trade in these parts. And we'll do it by becoming the premier source of collectibles. Bring us whatever you've got, and we'll pay you fair value in scripts. May this be the beginning of a long and prosperous relationship. You can now trade collectibles to Rowena's House of Splendors in Idyllshire. You may also exchange scripts for items usable by disciples of the land or hand by speaking with the nearby representative. Arms wide open. Huh. Well, if it ain't one of our most reliable collectors, got anything good for us this evening? Actually, hold that thought. Just remember that I've got something for you for a change. A favor to ask. You wouldn't happen to know a girl by the name of Zlolialiapo, would you? Sweet little thing, born into poverty. She worked her tail off for my sister until she'd paid off every last gil of her family's debts. Recently, she struck out on her own, renting out a corner of the hard place to run her own shop. Girl's got a nose for coin that's a match for anyone in the realm, but she can also be a bit scatterbrained, which is what's keeping us up all night. We'd like nothing more than to stick by her side till she gets her new operation off the ground, but needless to say, we've got plenty on our own plates. That's where you come in, so what do you say? Think you could pay Slowly a visit and see that the girl's making ends meet? It'd mean a whole lot to Rowena and me. Sure. So this unlocks another thingy that's actually kind of fun. Can be a little tedious, but at the same time it's awesome. This is where you talk to NPCs and you turn in stuff for them and you get friendly with them, and then eventually you get little perks. Like this one, you can actually dress her up. And she's kind of funny. I like her. She's very scatterbrained. Why, yes, I'm Zlolialiapo. However did you know? Am I famous? That's so exciting, and also somewhat terrifying. But most certainly exciting. Oh, but pray tell, whoever might you be? Mistress Gimmelona sent you to look after me? Why, how sweet of her to ask. And you to come, of course. Speaking of sweets, have you tried Adkireg's pineapple pudding? It's so smooth and sensuous and... Oh, where was I? Oh, of course. I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking. With the loan I took out from Mistress Rowena, I rented out a room here in the cellars of the Hard Place. Can you guess what I'm using it for? Actually, let me just tell you. I'm running an orphanage. I call it Menfina's Arms. Because it's like she's holding the orphans and keeping them safe. In her arms. Get it? I'm still new to this, but I've actually already learned so much. For one thing, running an orphanage is really expensive, so I've had to skimp on a few luxuries, food, clothing, and the like. Why, the last thing I ate was Adkire's pineapple pudding, and I had to make a single bowl last the week. It was a rather large bowl, mind you, but still. But this isn't about me. It's about the children and everything I could be doing for them if only I had more gil in my coffers. Don't worry, though. Zloli has a plan. What sort of plan, you ask? You're looking at it. I've started my trading business right here in this little corner of the Hard Place. I acquire rare treasures and relics from the realm over and sell them to wealthy collectors for princely sums. Oh, if only I could marry a prince, all my worries would be... Wait, what were we talking about? What's in it for my suppliers, you ask? I was just getting to that. Seeing as how I'm on such good terms... Seeing as how I'm on such good terms with Mr. Rowena, you see, I was thinking I could pay them back in scripts they could spend at the House of Splendors. I haven't actually asked her yet, of course, but I'm sure she'll say yes. Did I mention that we were really, really good friends? You know a thing about crafting, too. I knew this was Zloli's lucky day. Almost as lucky as the day when the nice old man paid 10 times what that stone was worth, a whole 100 gil, just because I reminded him of his granddaughter. Anyhow, what do you say? You can be Zloli's #1 procurement specialist. You'll do it, won't you, for the children? Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, you're the best, the absolute best. I knew it the moment I saw your face with you on my side. Zloli's House of Almost Splendors, I'm still working on the name, will be turning a profit in no time, and Menfina's Arms will spread wide to hold every poor orphan in a loving embrace. Anyhow, let's make this official, hero, was it? Zloli is oh so looking forward to doing business with you. Yep. Did I say that for every collectible you bring to me, I'll pay you in scripts redeemable at Rowena's House of Splendors? I did? Good. Because that's exactly what I'll be doing, provided Rowena approves, of course, which she will, I promise. That's how Rowena pays her hard-working employees, after all. No gil, just scripts. Why, I can still remember her counting them out. 1 script, 2 scripts, red scripts, blue scripts. She'll be positively thrilled that Zloli's following in her footsteps. I just know it. See the sparkle of curiosity in your eye. But Zloli, you ask, without any guild to your name, however did you purchase food, drink, and other basic essentials of daily life? You weren't wondering that? Well, Zloli will tell you anyway. At Rowena's House of Splendors, you can purchase an enormous flagon of pineapple juice for the low, low price of only 130 scripts. And who needs food when you have pineapple juice? Not Zloli, that's for sure. Pineapples. But where were we? Oh, you're probably wondering exactly what sort of treasures I'm looking for. Well, I'd be happy to explain. Zloli has her eyes set on exotic treasures of Near Eastern make and design. A little bird tells Zloli that Near Eastern culture is all the rage among the Ishgardian nobility these days, and who is Zloli to disappoint such potentially generous customers? I'm counting on you, friend, and remember, so are the children. Yay. Custom deliveries. That's what the name of it was. Satisfaction guaranteed. Zloli Aliapo. Oh, I remember doing these a long, long time ago. So basically, welcome hero, here to help me do Minfina's work, I take it. Let's see how many smiles we can put on the children's faces today. Alright. The items sought by Zloli fall into 3 categories. Crafted items obtainable by Disciples of the Hand, gathered items obtainable by Disciples of the Land, and fish. Furthermore, Zloli deals only in collectibles. In order to deliver an item, you must be its corresponding class and level 55 or above. If you're a level 89 or below, you will be awarded experience points instead of the level 90 scripts reward. Information on how to find individual items may be found in the following manner. For Disciples of the Hand items, choosing the search for item by crafting method subcommand with the list selected will bring up the crafting log and the relevant recipes. Materials necessary to craft these items may be purchased from the material supplier in Ilshar's free walks round spot. For Disciples of the Land items, choosing the search for item by gathering method subcommand will bring up the gathering log and the recipes in question. For knowledge on fish, choosing the display location subcommand will bring up the map of the relevant fishing hole. Furthermore, you may discover that using a metal spinner as a lure will expedite your fishing endeavors. The higher an item's collectability, the greater the reward you will earn from Zloli upon successful delivery. To learn more about collectibles and how to increase collectability, speak with Zloli Aliapo and select Learn About Custom Deliveries. So basically, I'm just going to go ahead and do these. These are what they want. Near Eastern Antique, either Data Radzat Coin, Radzat Hound Coin, Thavnarian Leaf. And then I'll get scripts, XP, Gil, and I get XP. And as you fill the hearts up, see how it has the 5th heart? And it's like encased and it points to clothing. That means once you reach that level, you are able to glam her out. There are also various other people in the game that you can do that for. Well, not just, I meant the deliveries, not just glamming. Some of them are glammable, others I think are not. Alright, so that should have everything all unlocked over here for now. I know there's a few plus signs, but I'll be good without those for now. Back to Gridania, so we can go talk to the leaders. And that plus right there is for Gunbreaker, which is one of the other tanks that I don't have yet. So many things to unlock. Should probably unlock Blue Mage over in Limsa as well. And then when Dawn Trail comes out, I got those 2 to unlock. Welcome, Warrior of Light. This way, if you please.
Dear friends, pray accept my heartfelt thanks for your efforts in defense of Gridania's borders. I would fain dwell longer on my gratitude for the support of the Alliance, but the situation at Belsar's wall demands that we forego such pleasantries.
According to our most recent intelligence, the cocoon of light that formed in the air above the wall remains undimmed and unbroken. After measuring the cocoon's etheric concentrations, Archon Y'shtola has confirmed the presence of a primal entity.
So we must assume that Ilbert's thrice-damned god is indeed trapped within. And what news of the Imperials? They're not like to ignore such a spectacle.
Sir, a Garlean airship was observed making an approach, but the vessel was destroyed when it drew near. The Empire appears to have made no subsequent attempts to reach the object.
The soldiers who witnessed the incident spoke of a lance of light issuing from within the cocoon, of an entire warship being reduced to smoking ruin in the space of a moment. Veterans of Cartano, meanwhile, likened the destruction to that wrought by the fiery wrath of Bahamut.
We could face another calamity.
So the Primal is awake then? Contained, yes, but for how long? We must destroy it now, lest it break free.
Good luck to that.
Agreed. There is, however, the small matter of how to get close enough to a being that swats warships from the sky as you would a bothersome gnat.
Too bad we didn't have the ultimate weapon.
Is this truly so complex a puzzle? Or have you no stomach for the obvious solution?
Oh shit, Nero.
What in the hells are you doing here?
A pleasure to see you too, Garland. Now, if you'd be so kind as to explain to these good people why you should be begging me for my assistance, that would be most appreciated.
Who is this man?
Oh, the Conjurer's ready too.
Oh, how terrifically rude of me. Nero Tolskeva, former tribunus of the 14th Legion of the Garlean Empire. These days, however, one might say that I'm something of a free agent.
What do you want, Nero?
I was getting to that. Although you already know what I'm about to propose, old friend. As you have rather belatedly realized, within that frail binding lurks an entity alike in strength to the great Bahamut, and the only force in existence which might conceivably contend with such a foe is the very creation which captured the Elder Primal in the first place. I speak, of course, of Omega.
Omega? That hulk has been gathering dust beneath the plains of Cartanau since the Allagans breathed their last. And none alive knows how to wake it.
I'm sorry? Do you understand who it is with whom you have the privilege of speaking? I'm Nero Tolskeva, Master Engineer, the mechanical genius who restored the Ultima weapon to full operational capacity.
Not something you want to be bragging to these people.
And as luck would have it, I'm graciously offering you the use of my considerable expertise.
And what, you just expect us to accept? You're a fool if you think your deeds at the Crystal Tower are enough to win my trust, Nero.
Trust? You wound me, Garland. All those years studying side by side at the Academy, sharing both trial and triumph, we were countrymen once, you and I. But sentiment aside, have you a better solution? Or do you mean to send in your vaunted hero there, as you always do, and pray the world is not engulfed in flame?
He does have a point.
Let us approach the problem in a rational manner. Does not the fact that Omega slumbers in stasis point to the existence of some overriding technology? A means of control?
I would ask a question, if I may. Nero, was it not? In the event that we succeeded in using Omega to shackle the Primal in the manner you propose, what then would become of it? Do we not risk repeating the mistakes of the Allagans?
Good point, Connie.
Omega is but a tool. How we choose to employ that tool is entirely up to us. Of course, if you would rather leave it buried beneath Cartano while you continue your petty squabbles above, then I suppose that is also your choice.
Spare us, Nero. The Seedseer's concern is a valid one. He who controls Omega wields the power of the gods, the very power which led the Allagans to destroy themselves.
And does it not fall to we engineers to prevent such misuse? What was your company's proud slogan? Freedom through technology?
A creed you follow, is it? What say you? Do we take this villain at his word?
No, but I'll keep an eye on him. He makes a convincing case.
He makes me grind my teeth is what he does. But I suppose we don't have much of a choice. Would the Council be willing to entrust this matter to a pair of former Imperials?
As long as Sid helms it.
Yes. The task of restoring the Allagan relic will be yours. But the responsibility for its reawakening must remain with the Council. Do we condone this course of action?
Aye. 'Twould seem we do. Let the record show that we invest this contingent with the authority to enter Cartano and take command of Omega. Sid, I appoint you leader of the expedition. Scions, I would ask that you assign some few of your number to escort Master Garland and supervise the other one.
We should be happy to oblige. The politics of Cartano being what they... I dare say our neutrality will prove useful in avoiding any unnecessary entanglements.
If I am not mistaken, Doma occupies a similarly neutral position. Might we not persuade you to join the expedition, Lady Yugiri? If you suspected any foul play from Nero, you would be welcome to kill him.
Nero stood back.
My blade is yours.
I love it.
Not a moment's hesitation, eh? You'll forgive me if I do not shake your hand.
Sid's not happy at all. I wouldn't be happy either. He has shown himself to be rather unreliable. Well, that was a rather unexpected development, and one which raises a number of questions, not least among them how Nero chanced to learn of the council meeting in the first place. Probably was just been watching this. Yay, more music. The Greater Obeisance. Sid and the others are assembling at the airship landing. LSA is already on her way, and it would not do to lag too far behind. Let us be off. Quick port over. Hero, Alphino, ready to go. The others have stepped out onto the landing for a moment. Lest you wonder, Nero insisted that he be allowed to inspect the Excelsior before boarding. And you let him? Despite his very timely offer of assistance, the thought of the man poking about in the workings of the ship without proper supervision does not fill me with confidence. Calm yourself, Alphino. Your sister was adamant that he would never leave her sight. She and Yugiri are, well, here they are now. Right, I think that's everyone. Shall I set course for Cartno? Might I ask that we delay our departure slightly? I require no more than a few hours at most. Our colleagues are studying the cocoon even as we speak, and I would hear their latest observations ere we proceed. It would seem wise to gain as clear an understanding of the situation as possible before formulating our plan. Oh, I thought time was against us. How foolish of me. Hold your tongue. When we want your opinion, we'll ask for it. Forgive me, my lady. I shall keep my counsel until such time as you have finished procrastinating. Alright. While Alphino speaks with his colleagues, I shall fly the Excelsior over to Mordona, and we can reconvene at the Rising Stones. Mine apologies for the trouble. I shall visit Y'shtola and the others forthwith, and join you as soon as I am able. Hero, pray accompany LSA back to the Rising Stones. I should feel safer knowing you are present to entertain our guest. Right, everyone heading to Mordona was welcome to travel aboard the Excelsior. I'll clear things with the girl at the counter here. Let her know when you're ready to leave. Ah, sweet. I get a free port over to Mordona. J. Chatterbox has completed a venture. You're traveling with Master Garlon, sir. The Enterprise Excelsior is right this way. Travel to Mordona? Yes. Give me that. Gimme, go. Let me get some more quests done so I can move on. Not quite a door-to-door service, but I couldn't exactly land her in the toll's main square. Shall we adjourn to the Rising Stones, then? I mean, consider yourself lucky that you actually have a natural, like, cliff base over here. I mean, you could have probably landed us, like, right here. Oh, never mind. I don't know why they have that opening if they blocked it with the building. That's bad architecture right there. I mean, you could have landed, like, right here or something. I don't know. we're talking. Oh, I thought we were talking about Philemon. Hori Boulder and his companions left to continue reconnaissance on the beast tribes. They were adamant about shouldering them what burdens they could while the senior scions were occupied with this cocoon emergency.
So these are the fabled headquarters of the Scions. I confess I would have expected an order of self-proclaimed warrior scholars to surround themselves with the fruits of man's enlightenment. And yet there's not so much as a single piece of magitech in sight. It never ceases to amaze me how primitive you Eorzeans truly are.
Oh, I'll have you know that the Rising Stones is home to the very latest in magitech innovation.
Uh-oh.
Wedge calls it the Mark XIV Thermocoil Boil Master, and it's the finest kettle I've ever had the pleasure to own.
We are returned. Well, Ida and I, at least. Ishtola and the others remain behind to continue their assessment of the binding magic.
There didn't seem much point staying just for that, so I decided to come back with Alphino. Papalimo bought us this time. We shouldn't waste it.
By your leave!
Good gods, that voice could fell a gigas.
This is the Rising Stones, domicile of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. I enter at the invitation of one Lord Urianger. I spy you there, Shadow Walker. You always were a hard one to find.
Yugiri, do you know this man?
Gosetsu, why are you come to Eorzea?
In search of you, Yugiri. For days and nights did I row across the angry sea. I made port in good spirits, only for my own flesh to betray me over the trifling matter of an empty belly. Collapsed in the street like an unfed stray I was, until Lord Urianger came to my aid. Over a most welcome meal, we spoke of the plight of Doma, and I learned of our displaced countrymen's work to resettle this blighted land. 'Twas blind fortune that I was able to locate you so swiftly. But now we must make ready to depart. Our master languishes in dire peril, and Doma calls her daughter home.
It is not so simple, Gosetsu. There are obligations which bind me here.
You refuse? Did you mislay your oath during your flight from our homeland? The laws of hospitality must be honored, but surely the vow to defend your master demands the greater obeisance.
It was our master who bid me guide our people to safe haven by any means necessary. And it was the Scions you see before you who provided us succor and sanctuary when all others refused. Dire peril or no, were I to return without first repaying such hospitality, our master would cut me down at the threshold.
Mayhap that is so.
There is more. A crisis threatens all within this realm, Eorzean and Doman alike, and I go to play my part in its resolution. I will not bring shame upon our liege by abandoning my people or my duty.
How very noble of you. Now, in the name of honor, kinship, and, practicality, might I suggest we get this expedition underway? Or would you rather debate the finer points of duty and leave Omega to the Empire?
The Empire? Yugiri? You draw steel against the curse of Garlemald? Then why did you not say so? My blade is oath-bound to fall upon the ranks of the Imperials wheresoever they march. Lead on, Shadow Walker, and may the enemy tremble at our coming.
He's supposed to be the samurai of the group, as you can tell by the attire and weapon. He's very boisterous, though, for a samurai. Hero, wait, could I speak to you for a moment? Do you remember when I had you meet me at the Diamond Forge and we ambushed you? Yeah, I remember that. Well, once we had your measurements, I set to work making you a traveling outfit in my spare time. I've only just this moment finished the stitching, but I wanted you to have it before you left. Here. You can try it on right now if you like. I like a few pieces of this if I remember correctly. Assuming we measured correctly, the fit should be just right. Snug but not too snug, if you know what I mean. So, how does it feel? You're not just saying that, are you? Oh, I can't tell you how much this means to me. To have crafted something worthy of the Warrior of Light let's just say it makes all the practice worthwhile. I also sewed in a blood pearl charm to, bring you home. May it always protect you. So I like the chest and the head pretty much. The pants and the boots are kind of meh to me. Fly free, my pretty. Ooh, I get 2 pieces of music for this. Yay! So we have to wake Omega up, right? When do we start? Ida, are you sure that's... I'm sure, yes. I won't lie and say I'm completely fine, but I'll feel a lot better if I'm doing something useful. Very well, and we'll remain here and continue coordinating our efforts with the Alliance. Alphino, mayhap you could return to Gridania and assist Y'shtola and Kryl. A fine suggestion. The rest of us will form the Cartnow Expedition Party. Nero and I will focus on rousing Omega, while Hero, Ida, and our Doman friends take care of security. You only need me. The Excelsior is by the lake just outside town. We'll leave as soon as everyone is ready. And of course these blue pluses over here are for hard mode dungeons that I don't need right now. I'll eventually need them when I do some more crafting for my housing. We haven't far to go. With any luck, we'll be in Cartnow before Gosetsu graces the deck with his dinner. I guess he gets airsick. Once there, however, we had best be on our guard. Given that Elaine Royal was still active when Omega was discovered, we can be sure that the Empire has long been aware of its existence. And if Nero deemed it the obvious solution to the threat posed by this new primal, it is not impossible that Garlemald might do the same. Have your weapons ready and your wits about you. Something tells me we're flying into a fight. You only need me. I could take care of the rest. Y'all just DPS.
Now, where was that? Ah. I've enabled the teleporter. One brief jump and we shall arrive in Omega's control room.
How convenient. You've been here before.
Of course. It was no easy task threading a path through all the skirmishes. But how could I ignore the existence of such a fascinating toy? You may trust that my preliminary examination was suitably thorough.
Trust? Aye. I trust your appetite for technology.
Uh-oh.
I chased down a suspect airship, and who should I find but the traitor, Sid Garland.
I think his name is Grinawat. This guy's annoying as fuck. He's got the hammer, though.
Searching for something, engineer? Something big? It's close, isn't it? It's like all my name days have come at once.
This is one of the more annoying bad guys.
Could have sent. Take care of that brute, will you?
God damn it. Can't let Nero tinker around in there by himself. I'm sorry to leave you to it, but I dare say you'll manage without me. This clod has no idea who he's dealing with.
You go, Sid. I got you.
I am Gosetsu, Samurai of Doma. You will rue your choice of opponent this day.
Yeah, this isn't one of my favorite enemies. I'm not a fan of him. He's very irritating. He's a sniveling coward, too.
It's all over now.
Eat my crits!
It's my right to strike!
You watching, Tabalino? Leave it to me.
Look upon a samurai of Doma!
That'll sting. The defense is wrecking.
It needs to go down quickly. I like that. Surrender. We have you outnumbered. Wouldn't be the first time. Are you still playing with those soldiers? I suppose I can lend you one of my toys, but only if you promise to give it back. The Red Baron. I think that's what it's called. Behold, yep, the Red Baron. Now end this nonsense. Yeah, that grin. What the? No one told me they'd have Magitech armor. Forward for the Empire. One shot, boom. The honorless Kerr thinks to abandon his men. I shall see that he shares their fate. Pray attend to the rest of his minions. Wait a second. The edge of Gosetsu's blade looked like it was chipped.
Tis my right to strike!
You watching, Cavallero? No retreat. No surrender.
Circle. Blow him up. Blow them all up.
Leave this to me.
Look upon a samurai of summer!
He's got a lot of goodies on this one.
It's all over now. And opening.
With soul and steel!
Oh.
No holding back. Your defense is nothing.
Eat my crit.
Tis my right to strike!
You watching, Cavallero?
That was over here. Oh, I think I'm about to hit the. Okay, good. I didn't get hit that.
No retreat. No surrender.
Oh, you can't stun him. Yay! Ran away like a little bitch. Ooh, I might be able to do a Mugen glamour cosplay for Samurai, if I can get Gatas.
Temporal stasis disengaged. All systems operational. Garland?
All clear on this side. It's waking up.
Remarkable. Omega sensors immediately detected the presence of the cocoon, even at this distance. They must have been set to scan for sources of energy exceeding certain magnitudes.
I still don't see any means to control the machine directly. It seems to have been designed to act wholly autonomously.
That's not good.
Once we release Omega, we can be fairly certain it will attempt to capture the Primal at Belsar's Wall. Assuming its mission is successful, our only option at that point will be to re-engage its stasis system and put it back to sleep.
And should the machine happen to misbehave, we'll simply initiate an emergency shutdown. I confess, we don't yet have a complete grasp of its capabilities, but I'm certain the details will not elude us for long.
Yeah. Cutting corners.
Well, I understood less than half of that. So, my question to you is, are we doing the right thing?
What do you think?
What do I think?
That's what I just asked you.
All right. Step aside, Sid. Is this the thing I need to press?
Yes, that's the one.
She presses the auto-destruct button. Boom! There goes your
You
chance.
gave too much for us to waste this chance, Papalimo. So this is for you. And me.
Or she breaks it and it never wakes up.
Yes! Fly free, my pretty! Show us what you can do.
The launch sequence has begun. Omega is loose.
It might be a case of taking care of an enemy with an even greater enemy. suspect like how much damage to the environment to Colossi fighting can do. It's like I don't even know where that water came from. Did he conjure it up or what? I don't remember. This one conjures all the elements at once. I think it's all the elements, not just like one or two. That's why it's so strong. Yeah, it is. It's water and lightning and fire, so that energy just got released. Jesus Venetius. Woo! And they go plummeting to the ground.
Huh? Omega has stopped transmitting. But that shouldn't be. I didn't engage the stasis system.
And what does this signify? I have little understanding of these contrivances.
It got knocked unconscious, pretty much.
The launch went exactly to plan, but all signals emanating from Omega have ceased. This may indicate any number of things, but we will need to join the Scions out in the field if we are to ascertain which one.
Right. I've ordered a malfunctioning beast to go to sleep. That should prevent any unfortunate mishaps. I suggest we make our way back to Gridania.
Omega destroyed the cocoon. Papalimo's spell is fading. It was bound to his ether, you see. And if the connection is broken...
Oh, yeah. I don't remember if they explained it, but those tattoos on the Archons are significant to the fact that that's what marks them as Archons. I think that was in 1.0. I'm not sure why we lost contact with Omega, but I mean to find out. Let's be on our way. Yes, travel straight to Gridania. One moment everything was functioning perfectly and the next it wasn't. It makes no sense. We need to see what happened for ourselves and soon. The far edge of fate. 10,000 gil, not too shabs. I'm recouping some of the money I spent. Words can ill express how glad I am to see you all unharmed. When Omega came hurtling towards the cocoon, everything dissolved into chaos. I have to see it. I have to see it with my own eyes. Ida, wait, we must first... the Elder Seedseer is expecting us. Worry not, Alphino. Gosetsu and I will watch over her. You may safely attend your meeting. My thanks, Yugiri. The council reconvened a short while ago. Let us make haste for the Lotus Stand. All there are eager to hear your testimony. The Elder Seedseer awaits you within. Oh, I actually have to run in. It doesn't do it for me in cutscene. My friends, full eagerly have we awaited your return. Few indeed could have discharged the duty entrusted to you, and most humbly do we thank you for seeing it done. You are too kind, Elder Seedseer. As I recall, we as good as demanded the right to try, but tell me, how did the battle unfold? We succeeded in waking Omega, aye, but we lost contact with the weapon shortly after it launched. From our position in the control room, we were blind to all that followed. What words could do justice to such a scene? None of my choosing, that much is certain. But I can give you the facts. The cocoon hatched even as Omega arrived, and from its midst rose a great dragon. The pair duly set about each other in the skies over Giribania. The primal's might defied belief. It seemed the very heavens would be rent asunder by the force of its blows, and it wielded such magics as I have never seen, and hope never to see again. The battle raged on with no end in sight until both combatants were engulfed in a blinding flash of light. When the radiance faded, I saw the pair fall motionless from the sky, coming to rest somewhere on Alamegan soil. I will not speak for the rest, but to my eye it seemed that each had landed a fatal blow upon the other. While most among us could think only of Bahamut when looking upon the primal's form, the Domans were heard to whisper the name Shinryu. It would appear that the being resembles a creature of Far Eastern legend, and we have found it convenient to refer to it as such. This Shinryu's fate, and indeed that of Omega, is yet unknown. We have, alas, no eyes on the Giribanian side of the border. Aye, which is why we have sent our main force under the command of Marshal Taropin to capture the wall. With the Imperials in disarray, we have the perfect opportunity to secure Gridania's border and assess the aftermath of the impact. I myself would join the Marshal and his men when the council is adjourned. Well, that explains a few things. I'll wager that flash of light coincided with our loss of contact. Lest you wonder, we quickly re-engaged Omega's stasis system, so even if it has fallen into the Empire's lap, it will be of no use to them, save perhaps as a statue. Correct. Without me to guide their efforts, it would take them decades to decipher Omega's core functions, if they managed it at all. Such reassurances do much to calm our fears, yet the relic's fate is but one of several concerns. Indeed, I humbly submit that the time has come for us to make contact with the resistance representatives in Girabania. Though Ilbert has forced our hand, it would seem only logical to seek an alliance, given the inevitability of Imperial retaliation. And by working in concert, it is not impossible that Alamigo might finally be wrested from Garlemald's grasp. Here we go, we're going to start knocking out some resistance with Garlemald. You must be exhausted. I would ordinarily suggest that we retire directly to the Rising Stones, but I wonder if we might first make a small detour. Yastel and the others have gathered at Emerice's spire, and I imagine that you too would be interested to see what has become of the wall now that Cocoon is gone. Yeah, of course I do. It is decided then. Lead on. And then you follow, you head out before me. Okay. Okie dokie, Smokey. Go to the Lancer Guild. The names of some people. There's one person in the guild is called J.P. Morgaines. We're getting super, super close. I think this is the last mission. Far Edge of Fate. Before we can get into the next X-Pack.
My friends, I cannot well express how glad I am to see you both unharmed. They say that Omega's clash with the Primal shook the very firmament.
You need not have worried. The battle took place far above the ground. We were able to observe in relative safety, though I'm given to understand that there were casualties on the far side of the wall.
It was like watching a nightmare unfold before our very eyes. Ilbert's Primal manifested in the form of a colossal dragon, a being of pure violence. It burst forth from the cocoon with such terrible force.
That such a horror should spring from the eyes of Nidhogg comes as no surprise. Nor do I wonder at its form. Ilbert all but announced it in the moments prior to his death. Plainly, it was his dying wish to visit a second calamity upon the Empire.
And I am quite certain the abomination would have obliged had it not found itself outmatched by Omega. Gods! I am no stranger to the works of Alag, but even I was unprepared for the machine's furiosity. It beggared belief.
And how fares poor Ida in the midst of all this? Have you spoken with her?
She's up on the platform, lost in thought. We deemed it best not to disturb her, but mayhap she would welcome some company after all. Shall we?
The light's gone. It was all we had left of him.
Ida.
I don't blame anyone. I knew what was going to happen. I knew the spell Papalimo meant to cast would drain away his life force. I knew that it would only buy us a little time.
Unmasking.
Ida, there is no need to explain.
But there is. I can't hide in Papalimo's little shadow anymore, and I shouldn't hide behind my sister's mask. 20 years ago, on the day the Empire marched into Alamigo, I was still just a child, not even 5 summers old. My father had been one of the leaders of the revolution. He had fought to overthrow the Mad King, Theodoric. And my sister had fought alongside him. But she was strong and kind, and always knew what to do. But when the Garleans came, everything changed. My father went to war against them too. And I never saw him again. After that, I remember a lot of running. My sister dragged me for malms and malms until we came to the city of Charlian. That was where she met Master Louis Soir. He introduced her to the Circle of Knowing, and she eventually became an Archon.
She was your inspiration. Is that not why you took up her mask and her name? Or did you simply mean to continue what she had started?
You've known all along, haven't you? That I wasn't Ida.
Of course. We all recognized you at once. 'Twas Papalimo who persuaded us to maintain the charade.
It was silly to think I could fool you. I knew that even then, but I sort of decided not to know. Ida died 6 years ago, on a mission to smuggle refugees out of Alamigo. They say she was overwhelmed by Imperial soldiers when she stayed behind to save a little girl. She was so strong. There must have been a lot of them.
Why'd you never tell me?
I'm sorry for lying to you. My real name is Lise. When Papalimo brought me Ida's mask, it was meant as a keepsake, but I decided I wanted to be his new partner, to keep alive all the good that she had done. I didn't want to become Ida, exactly. At the time, though, I still didn't know who I was myself, and it almost seemed easier to play the role. Papalimo agreed to help, of course, but it was never what he wanted for me. He wanted me to walk my own path, and those were his final words to me. The Archon's mark he gave me is faded, and my last excuse along with it. So this is it. Whatever I choose to do from now on, I do as Lise. And I choose to continue my family's fight. I want Alamigo to be the country that Ida and my father always wanted it to be.
technically, we lose 2 scions. Papalymo died. Elise was masquerading as Ida, and now she's going...
War is upon us once more.
Now she's going to be joining the resistance.
Do you regret standing against the Empire? Would you have chosen a different road, knowing what you know now?
To claim that I never doubted the decision would be a lie. But I made my choice, and I have defended it with blade in hand ever since.
The battle continues, and our steel is needed. Come, Shadow Walker, we leave for the east, for Doma.
And then, well, actually, technically Yugiri is gone too, because she's got to go back to Doma. It was brave of Lise to remove her mask after so long. Though she has scarce begun to come to terms with Papalymo's loss, that one act made plain her determination to move forward. And should she ever falter, we shall be there to support her on this road she has resolved to walk. Let us return to the Rising Stones. We have quite a story to tell Totoro, my sister. And that'll be the end of Heaven's Ward.
Children of the land, do you hear? Echoes of truths that once rang clear. Two souls intertwined, one true love they did find.
Man. Still stirs the emotions, even though I've gone through this already. Hopefully I have enough time to cover the credits. I do have to work today, so I was just so close. I wanted to get through this. He took that hit. Oh man, I just remember that. And Manalaine punched him in the face. All he did was barely move his head. Then he just lays a Manalaine out. Wham. Oh, sent that kid flying. He needed it too. At least we managed to save Estinian. That was cool. And technically now Nidog's never coming back because the eyes got turned into Shinryu. Don't have to worry about Ilbert's ass coming back, thankfully. He was another annoying nuisance. Still don't remember if Hraesvelgr got his eye back from my character or not. I don't think so. I think I ended up draining all the energy from it. Should be kind of a letdown if it did, though, because that means that Hraesvelgr's stuck at half power. Oh, Chiffon, and he sail. I still need to get the Hashafont portrait in my Connie Senna portrait. I still remember the whole thing with Orion J being like the turncoat and then the Warriors of Darkness. I was just like, what? Back in the day. And then as it resolved, I think, I don't remember correctly, I might have guessed that Orion J was playing Triple Agent. It just seemed like it was kind of out of left field a little bit. Ilberd. And Popolino. So that would also mean that Tupsamati's, the remains of it's gone as well. Oh yeah, today is Pi. Oh. Yeah. Happy Pi Day, everyone. Kind of looking at my phone right now. I just happened to see that. Apparently Minecraft is beta testing a mace. Smash attack while falling for knockback effect. Longer you fall, harder you hit. Fall damage is negated if you land the hit. And it's crafted by combining a breeze rod with a heavy core. Interesting. Come on, any day now. These credits are ridiculous. I don't know if this is true, but apparently in the very early 2000s, one could pay $70 in England to be flung via trebuchet 75 feet into a net. That sounds real safe. It's not like it's ever going to fail and you're gonna, you know, miss your mark. Didn't. So I'm not actually going to be able to start the first mission for Stormblood, sadly. I kind of cut it super close for work time. So I'm probably going to, as soon as this cutscene ends and I regain control of my character, probably port back to town and end the part. Alright, so the plan for Stormblood will be to make steady progress while at the same time knocking out any events that happen, like the Lady's Day / Hatching Tide. Try to get that knocked out. Then I will, once we get towards the end of Stormblood and some of the end stuff unlocks, I'll be working on that, while also working on storyline. A big thing we'll be doing Eureka. We'll be working on that quite a bit. Now, I'm not going to be staging a bunch of live streams, or live content, I should say, to go into Eureka. I will be at least showcasing the story beats. Up to a certain point. I don't know. I'm gonna try and maybe do a part of it's gonna be difficult due to the fact there is some cutscene after a raid in Eureka, and the unfortunate part is that's one of the special raids. That's a raid where you can't unsync it. You have to go through it synced, and it also has a few other caveats that make it still technically viable as doable content currently. Like, there are still discords that will run that content, and I have gotten into that a little bit. I've kind of fallen out of it since I've completed a few sets, at least a healing set, a caster set. Well, almost complete, I should say. I didn't finish the weapons for those, but I at least got my warrior completely kitted out, my main, and that is worth it. It's where I get a lot of my coin. That's where a lot of people get a lot of their coin. The place pretty much prints money. I think I need a slightly larger keypad on my phone. I keep fat fingering stuff, misspelling. And I don't use autocorrect because autocorrect annoys the crud out of me. You may have mentioned, but Alphino has apprised me of all that came to pass in Gridania. Your only task now is to rest. This is the calm before the storm. Lisa's chosen her path, and as her friends, we must do what we can to support that choice. We are fated to join the conflict in any case. Once the Alliance has taken the wall and opened the way to Garabania, we will have little choice but to fight. Which is not to say the cause is unworthy. After all, ignoring the plight of those whom one might conceivably save is not wisdom but indolence, correct? I, for one, look forward to joining hands with the Alamegans and striking a blow against the tyranny of the Empire, as I rather suspect do you. Now the real Grand Company people are fighting. Quick march, the Imperials will soon come to their senses and we must be ready to face the retribution. It's almost time, Father. Aye, almost. Stand firm, Pippin. I learned to brace myself against the charge of the Bull of Alamigo. No foe will dislodge me. Oh, is this part? Nope, not yet. Illbird. Very well, Ilberd. I will take our homeland back. For the both of us. You think he would have gotten like a prosthetic for the stump of his arm as like a battering ram or something? I don't know. At least a blade. Something to defend himself. That leaves that flank completely exposed. My Lord Viceroy, our scouts have confirmed the preliminary reports. Baelsar's wall has fallen to the Eorzean Alliance. The hunt for Omega and the unknown Icon continues, though both yet eludes us. My lord, their battle caused considerable damage across the region. Should we perchance divert some of our forces from the search to undertake necessary reconstruction work? Forgive me, my lord. I did not intend. Your will be done. Unknown. My spies tell me that Domans call it Shinryu, and that it proved a match for Omega. Yes, the coming days promise to be most interesting. Most interesting. One of the most twisted adversaries I've ever seen is about to be released. At the far edge of fate, the road begins anew. The heroes look to eastern sky. A dawn of liberation, a gathering storm of blood. I didn't get to read it. "5 minutes of fate." Fate Walker. Kind of like that, but I like the heart of the party as well. Can't think of it. Alright, so yay! We finished Heaven's Ward. As you can see, I have a pop-up to go to Curious Gorge for the Stormblood Warrior chain. What we will be doing also is just like I did with Heaven's Ward. I'm going to wait until I actually hit level 70 on Warrior, and I will chain the Stormblood Warrior story quest. That means all the unlocks and all the other stuff. It'd be great. And it also means I could perchance get a nice little boost of equipment. So let's do a few items. Oh wait, I already sent my people out, my squadron. So we're gonna go and resend everyone of my retainers, and then I'm going to end it all here. This was quite the journey, and we have finally breached the next X-Pack. I am excited. A lot of people didn't like Stormblood, but for me, I liked it. I haven't really had too much of an issue with any X-Pack. There are some caveats to the game that have kind of irked me, but for the most part, it hasn't pushed me over the edge to the point where I'm like, I can't play this anymore, kind of thing. I've learned to deal with it. With WoW, I kind of got to the point where I was just like, I don't know about this game anymore. It pretty much is a chore. For this one, still enjoying it. I hope y'all enjoying and watching me still. But I gotta cut this short because I gotta get to work. Thank y'all for watching. This has been part 73 of my live stream playthrough for Final Fantasy XIV. If you'd like to go ahead and give me a thumbs up and hit that like button. Subscribe to my channel if you're not a subscriber. Keep with the content. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about the game and my gameplay, though no spoilers, please. And I will see you in the next video. Catch you all then. Later. Probably would have been a good idea to keep my controller in my hand so I could have ended broadcast.